agreeing to?
I haven't agreed to anything, Robin. I agreed to getting $5,000 for this show.
Robin, I said we were talking about doing bigger things.
Right.
I said, Artie, are you in? And he goes, yeah, I'm in.
All right,
that's all it was about. But you know what? Let's be stupid about things. Let's not align and do gigantic shows all over the country. Let's just stay separate if that's what you want.
Well, this is getting very sad. Steve, go ahead. I'll give two more people say in this. Steve, go ahead.
Artie, you stupid guinea bastard. Let me tell you something right now. You're not pissed off over the fact that you didn't get paid. You're pissed off for the fact that you didn't get more money when after the show you said, you know what, I should have got more money for that fucking gig.
I don't feel that way.
No, that's not true.
How you feel, Artie. That's bullshit.
No, that's not true at all. No.
Bullshit.
I just want the money that was offered to me.
If he's going to be underpaid, he wants to be underpaid right away.
Let me tell you something. Do you think that Andrew Dice Clay is not going to pay you? Are you kidding me or what?
No, sir. I know he's going to pay me, sir.
Artie feels he shouldn't have to.
And I do, I have sent the check now. That's why I don't understand why we're fighting. Like I keep saying, I'll apologize one more time. If I would have known that I'm not going to do it in an antagonistic way. If you wanted that money that night, because we discussed the money, and you said something to me, I just would have had a check cut to bring with me. But I didn't have checks to bring with me. I get paid at...
Is that fair, Artie? Is that a fair statement from Dice?
I wasn't looking to snub the guy.
Artie, why is that not fair?
No, I mean, I expected to get paid. Honestly, I expected to get paid that night, but
I didn't know that. I really didn't know that.
Maybe he has a different business procedure that you're just becoming aware of.
I started this trip. I did the Mandalay Bay in Vegas, came back to New York for Borgata, then went to Florida for shows, and then went back to Mandalay Bay. I took care of this on Monday, which was yesterday, and it had nothing at all to do with what you were yelling about on the air. I mean, it's just how...
I wasn't yelling about anything. I mentioned that I didn't get paid yet, and Howard found it surprising that I didn't get paid yet.
Yeah, but you know what? Howard didn't do the gig. This was our thing. And you could have called me and left me a message going, "Die," even after a week.
No, you said to me you were surprised you didn't get paid.
We wouldn't have known you hadn't gotten paid unless you brought it up.
No, I said I haven't gotten paid yet.
Right.
And you were like, did Dice get paid? I'm like, I think so.
What
Just
I'm saying,
asking?
Artie, if it bothered you at all, you could have just left me a message going, "Dice, I haven't received my check yet."
My agent called your agent a million times.
My father is on the phone now.
Could somebody bring some clarity to this?
If my father gets on the phone, you know he must be worked up.
I don't know what's happening.
Dad, what's happening here?
Oh, look, first of all, I'm exhausted. I've been listening to this with this hot weather. No, I just want to give my 2 cents. I see two people who have different modes of operation.
Right.
Okay. So that's the whole argument. So one man has one operation and the other guy has another operation. Nobody decided beforehand how the operations would gel. So now you find there was a mistake because one guy didn't know how the other guy felt. So all you have to do, each one of you say, look, in the future this won't happen. It was a mistake. I'm sorry it happened. I was in business with 3 other guys, 4 partners. And if we didn't use this philosophy, we would never stay.
You'd have been like this every day.
Now, Dad, when you were in the recording business, I remember people would record, and then some months later they would pay you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a different kind of business. That's not a direct thing. I wouldn't even, you
not comparable. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I also don't think it's worth destroying the friendship we're building and what went on in that crowd. I mean, that crowd was one of the most intense crowds I've been in front of years, and I do feel it had a lot to do with me and Artie together.
All right, so this was
instead of fighting.
Dad, you're saying this is a difference of business practice.
Listen, just to give you an example, I mean, how to handle things. Well, there's Barry Bonds and Giambi. Giambi went to the court. He told the truth. The other guy's boozing around the bush. Now, what do you have here? Giambi now is a big hero in Yankee Stadium. He's doing great, and nobody's looking to get him. They're not investigating him. So the whole idea is you got to come forth and say it was a mistake, and in the future it's not going to operate that way. This is the way it operates. As long as the two of you were successful together, the other thing is chicken shit.
Yeah, well, that's how I felt. That's why I keep going. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
I guess Artie is feeling sensitive because he's the guy still without the $5,000, and I understand that.
Ben, do you think Artie is overreacting?
No.
No?
I don't.
I disagree.
I don't.
You know why I don't think Artie's... Let me tell you what my...
All right.
Feeling. Artie's not overreacting. He wasn't told that this is
That's
the
right.
operation that he has.
Artie
Now,
has
on
a
the
different
other
way.
hand-
But Mr. Stern, that was not agreed to beforehand. If there was one thing where Dice said, certainly, Artie, you're going to get your money there that night, and then he stiffed him, that's another situation.
Right.
But nobody talked about it.
Okay,
So
but here-
Dice wasn't necessarily in the wrong, and neither was Artie.
Okay, so
I agree with you on the point that they didn't talk about it. That's the only thing I agree about.
Well, I think what your dad's saying, Howard, is let's put that behind us. Now if
That's
when we
right.
do another gig, all right. If you whatever the money is, you get that up front. If that's how you want to get paid, and we just continue. The point is that it was so phenomenal. That gig was so phenomenal. It would be stupid for us not to keep going.
All right. Dad, thank you. One last thing. Go ahead. Yes.
What?
I believe in the bottom line on any situation. I always trust the bottom line. The bottom line is the future. You two guys, if you both agree, you're great together, you're going to be successful together, that's important. All this other
Artie
stuff-
doesn't want to be together.
Artie doesn't
That's
like
the
that.
thing here.
That's a whole other
Listen,
thing.
listen.
Artie, go ahead.
Here's the point. If you we know a lot of comedians. Get them on the phone. See how the comedy business works. I want to know.
Let me do that for you.
I want to know. I want to know how long they've waited for checks
All right,
after.
let's,
a gig.
Dad, thank you.
I have
Dad,
never seen this much craziness
Dad,
over the check.
Artie, you're right. I mean, this is ludicrous. It shouldn't be that.
That's
way.
why I said it's an overreaction. There's something else here.
No. You see, if he's operating in a ludicrous way, that's not satisfying to you. He's wrong, and you also don't accept his way of operating. So you're wrong. So in other words, it's past that point.
Right.
Listen,
It's just
I'm admitting I'm not going to make anything up. Nothing was discussed. I never said to Dice, "Look, I expect this money tonight." He never promised that to me. But we're in the same business, and I'm saying there's sort of. I've been doing comedy a long time. You get paid usually, if not that night, within a couple of days. So it's been 10 days, and this conversation started with me going, Dice, when am I going to get the check? And then as it rolled on, Dice claimed he made a phone call, which I didn't get.
Wait a minute. Wait, say that again. I missed that.
All right. Wait, let me hang up on my phone. Dad, thank you.
Okay, I'm getting off.
All right, thank you. I hear what Artie's saying. He's saying it's common practice in the comedy business to be paid that night or within 2 or 3 days.
But maybe Dice has a different operation.
No, it's not even a different operation. If I have, you know what? If I have like just a regular opening act, okay, which I don't consider Artie, and I didn't consider him. Once again, I'm saying this as an opening act. He wasn't considered that way. We had a guy. We had the boy Jameson open. If I got a guy like that, Jameson doesn't get close to what I paid Artie, so I just take care of him.
Bob Levy's on the phone. Bob, you're a comic.
I'll do it for $50.
Tell us what's going on.
First of all, Ralph is an idiot. Okay, second of all,
Thank
you
you.
get paid that night. Whenever me and Artie did gigs, we would tell the promoters to have the check there that night. There's no thinking about anything else. We're not going to get sent a check. We're working that night. We're going to get paid that
Bob,
night.
what's the longest? You've been doing stand-up for years. What's the longest you ever waited for a check?
I would have him overnighted if I didn't have it there that day.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm not a promoter. I'm a comic, so I got the check from the hotel. I keep the check.
But
with me.
Dice,
I
if
come
you got
home.
half the money from the hotel, why not give me half my money that
How am I
night?
going to get it? Should I rip the check in half?
Just write a check out.
Have a check ready.
No,
Or
but
tell the promoter, make out half to Artie.
But listen to me. If I would have known you wanted it that night, if it was discussed at all, it just would have been handled.
All right, listen. We can't go on with this all day. I'm sorry you guys have this going on. Artie, I understand from Dice what he's saying. Your check is in the mail.
Right.
That's it. It was handled. It's handled the day I came home.
Dice, it would be great if the check would bounce.
But Artie
That
feels
would be
insulted
phenomenal.
some way.
No, I don't
payment
feel
on it.
insulted. I feel he's
Artie
not
said-
admitting
Artie-
he's not admitting to lying that he called me in the middle of the week.
Listen, everything went so good, and you're turning something that went so good into something bad, and it shouldn't be.
No. I'm not turning this into anything bad, Dice. All I asked at the
screaming
beginning
at
was,
each other on
I
the-
haven't gotten paid yet. When am I getting the check? And then a conversation started, and a couple of things happened in that
All right,
conversation that got
Dice's
me
answer
aggravated.
is your check is coming within a day or two.
But I'm calmed down again.
All right.
I hope you
too.
All right,
overnighted that
here's the answer.
But the big eye opener is, for the last 4 years, I've sat down with my agent. I did 5,000 people in Philly once, and I said, listen, how do we get Ralph Sorella to a gig?
Oh, it was.
How do we get Ralph to come?
Ralph, You seem to have really ticked Artie off more than anything.
I think I figured it out now.
What?
Here's the problem. The reason, and I think everybody agrees, Artie is overreacting. Robin's saying it, Fred's saying it, but you're going to attack me. That's okay, Artie.
I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you.
I think Artie needs distractions in his life to make himself miserable, whether he's fucking up his relationship with Dana, whether he's eating himself to death, whether he's getting mad that he didn't get $5,000. He needs something to be upset and distracted
He was.
Ralph, how much longer should I wait for the $100 you owe me?
You're going to be waiting forever.
I know, of course I will. And we just have to accept the fact that...
What is with that, Ralph? Why do you owe him $100 and you're not paying him?
Artie put in a bet for me. I lost the bet.
You owe him $100.
I lost the bet with Will, too. And I said, Will, just pay him the money because I wasn't...
Will, please come in here. Please come in here.
Why should Will have to be responsible for your debt?
I'm going to go ask Will, who hardly makes any money.
Artie, I'll be in Thursday. I'll pay you Thursday, okay?
That ain't happening.
All right, so that's...
2 years.
Well, you know, you want
this whole thing is crazy to me. I got to be honest. Just listening to this whole thing.
Well,
I don't understand why you couldn't just call me and go, I didn't get my check yet.
I did call you. My agent called your agent. I knew you were on the road, and I was on the road, so I figured the agents would deal with it.
The answer to your question, let's get back to it. The answer to Artie's question as to when he is going to be paid is, I would estimate that if Dice sent the check yesterday, I don't know if he FedExed it.
How was it sent?
How was it sent, Dice?
Who cut it?
I called my accountant and I said, cut a check to this guy and first I got the agent's number. I called the accountant. I said, this is his agent's number. What is it? Am I right with his first name?
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right. So you at least know I know that. I said, this is his name. Call him up now and send the check.
All right, so the check...
So you found the number that you lost.
The road manager. I also...
Dice, you told me you lost the agent's number.
What's that?
You told me you lost my agent's number. Where'd you get it from again?
I lost the agent's number, and I went through a million papers that I got on the road. It was written on a little piece of paper. I found it, and I called my accountant. What is this, a fucking murder trial?
No, you're lying, Dice, and you're backpedaling.
Oh, my God.
I have no reason to lie. What is wrong with you?
Well, why would you say you said you lost my agent's number?
Yes, I lost the little piece of paper you wrote.
And then you
on,
found
right?
it again.
So, as you know, when you're on
Would you
road,
pray to St. Anthony?
You collect all kinds of papers, okay? So I went through all of them.
I'm wearing my medal. Maybe he used this.
You know what? But yesterday was also the first time I'm even hearing about this.
Ross Zapin wants to come in and defend you, Dice.
Good.
Bring him in then.
All right, let's hear what he has to say. This is
the craziest.
This is what happens sometimes.
For $100.
I'm here to defend both of you guys. I think the biggest mistake here was you guys are talent. You've done shows before. Your representative should have called his representative and kept the two of you out of it.
But Ross, they did. My agent called his. I
Okay,
get my agent.
but you want to know something? You also let me tell you this, Artie, and it's something I won't discuss on the air. There are some problems right now with my particular agent, so I haven't even talked to him. Okay, he actually did call me yesterday, and I didn't call him back yet because of something else going on. Okay, which has nothing to do with you.
All right. Well, we won't get into that.
Ross,
I believe. I got to say this. I believe your agent called him. I just haven't talked to my guy yet. Okay?
Ross,
in the meantime, without any of that, I still called my accountant and I took care of all my bills and all the guys I had to pay.
Ross Zapin, I want to thank you for nothing. You clarified nothing.
No. But I made the point. But let me go back. But if
I got to say this about Ross. See, I talked to Ross and I told Ross how incredible that show went, and he was happy to hear it because he was even smart enough to go, you know what? You two teaming up is an incredible
He was
thing.
even smart enough?
But wait a second. I just want to roll back.
I've never heard that before.
Nobody's ever called Ross.
And Ross, who are you again?
I'm nobody.
Ross, who are you again, just so people know? Well, what is your title here?
Vice President Promotions, Event Marketing.
All right, so this is a guy who knows something about it.
But I have to, my previous history was I booked Dice when I worked for a concert promoter, and I've been in the business. Now, I know you're closer to it, Artie.
Howard, I'm going to say this just to let people know who Ross is. When I first came into New York, before I ever even did your show, okay, before I even went on your show ever for the first time, I'm talking years ago, Ross was the first guy to bring me into New York and put me in contact.
All right, absolutely.
He was working with Ron Delsner.
All right,
That's
this
right.
is a man who knows.
All right, listen, here, let me sum this up. Wait, I got to get out of this for a second. So let me sum it up. I think I can help.
I don't think you can.
No.
I think I can.
Can't be done.
Let me help.
He feels like he's responsible for the show.
Artie has a way of doing business. It's like my father said. Artie has a way of doing business. He's been in the nightclub business his whole life, ever since he stopped being a longshoreman.
But this was a minor mistake. He is acting as if Dice killed
He understands it was a different way of doing business, but he feels what's compounded it is a series of statements that is infuriating him.
Ugh.
I think he had an extra grind.
Am I right, Artie?
Before this even happened.
No, honestly, Fred, I didn't. I was very calm at the beginning.
Artie thought that he should be paid.
You want to know something? Here's three things. Number one, I think Artie thinks he was underpaid.
Right.
I think
No, I don't think that's it.
Let me
He's not
finish. Let me
saying
finish.
that.
That's number one. Number two, I think he thinks he sold it out. Dice has a different opinion.
I don't think
Number
that's
three,
it.
the third compounding factor is he didn't get paid. So if he thinks he's underpaid and he thinks he sold it out and he didn't get paid,
right,
he's coming in with an extra grind.
Right.
And I have one question for Artie. When Dice asked you that day to do the gig, were you actually happy that he asked you, or did you feel like you were put on a spot and you didn't know how to say no?
No, I was happy to work with him.
But
absolutely.
Did you have any misgivings about doing it, especially since you had another gig coming up and it was kind of bad timing?
The scheduling was a problem, but no, I would love the opportunity to work with him. No, definitely, I was happy to work with him.
But it was also a great opportunity to see how that show came off, right?
Yeah, it was
and the
great.
show came off phenomenal.
I don't think
the problem. I think Fred is wrong. The problem is Artie expected to be paid that night.
But shouldn't that have been communicated up front?
Yes, it was a miscommunication.
Yeah, you're right. I did not
Artie
communicate
thinks that
that.
that's something that should be known. It's not something you need to teach
Not
another
even that.
comic.
But should Artie have to? But should Artie have to communicate that to Dice? Should Artie's agent have said up front, "Hey, this is what the deal is"?
Artie thought that that's something that comics know. That's what he thought.
That's ridiculous.
But Dice has been doing
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous to think somebody knows
It's a
something.
misunderstanding between two guys.
And then to carry on like this.
No, it's compounding because things are being said.
What's
Let me ask you a question.
What really got me
Artie's
mad
being
was
a little
Dice said he
insulted.
called me in the middle of the week, and he did.
But he says he did. Is he going to lie about
I'll
it?
tell you what's stupid. I'll tell you what's stupid. See, we're having an argument today, Artie, and when I left that gig, all I'm thinking of is where do we go next? What's the bigger venue we play, okay? Now, of course, we could both do our own gigs separately, but you there?
Yeah. Where would I go?
He's left.
No, because I'm on the fucking phone, okay? But this is what happens, and I don't know who put anything in your ear. This is what I spoke to Howard when I first came in about our fight, that other people...
Promotions, event marketing.
All right, so this is a guy who knows something about it.
But no, but I have to, my previous history was I booked Dice when I worked for a concert promoter, and I've been in the business. Now, I know you're closer to it, Artie.
Howard, I'm going to say this just to let people know who Ross is. When I first came into New York, before I ever even did your show, okay, before I even went on your show ever for the first time, I'm talking years ago, Ross was the first guy to bring me into New York and put me in contact.
All right, absolutely.
He was working with Ron Delsman.
All right,
That's
this
right.
is a man who knows.
All right, listen. Here, let me sum this up. Wait, I got to get out of this for a second. So let me sum it up. I think I can
I
help.
don't think you can.
No.
No, I think I can.
Can't be done.
Let me help.
He feels like he's responsible for the show. And
Artie has a way of doing business. It's like my father said. Artie has a way of doing business. He's been in the nightclub business his whole life, ever since he stopped being a longshoreman.
But this was a minor mistake. He is acting as if Dice killed his first customer.
He understands it was a different way of doing business, but he feels what's compounded it is a series of statements that is infuriating him.
Ugh.
I think he had an extra grind.
Am I right, Artie?
Before this even happened.
No, honestly, Fred, I didn't. I was very calm
Artie
at the beginning.
thought that he should be paid.
You want to know something?
then,
Here's three
and
things. Number one, I think Artie thinks he was underpaid.
Right.
I think
No,
it's part
I
of his
don't think
house-
that's it.
Let me
He's not
finish. Let me
saying
finish.
that.
That's number one. Number two, I think he thinks he sold it out. Dice has a different opinion.
I don't think
Number
that's
three,
it.
the third compounding factor is he didn't get paid. So if he thinks he's underpaid and he thinks he sold it out and he didn't get paid, he's coming in with an extra grind.
Right.
And I have one question for Artie. When Dice asked you that day to do the gig, were you actually happy that he asked you, or did you feel like you were put on a spot and you didn't know how to say no?
No, I was happy to work with him.
But
absolutely.
Did you have any misgivings about doing it, especially since you had another gig coming up and it was kind of bad timing?
The scheduling was a problem, but no, I would love the opportunity to work with him. No, definitely, I was happy to work with him.
But it was also a great opportunity to see how that show came off, right?
Yeah, it was
and the show came off phenomenal.
I don't think
The problem, I think Fred is wrong. The problem is Artie expected to be paid that night.
But shouldn't that have been communicated up front?
Yes, it was a miscommunication.
Yeah, you're right. I did not
Artie
communicate
thinks that that's
no.
something that should be known. It's not something you need to teach
Not
another
even that.
comic.
But should Artie have to? But should Artie have to communicate that to Dice? Should Artie's agent have said up front, "Hey, this is what the deal is"?
Artie thought that that's something that comics know. That's what he thought.
That's ridiculous.
But Dice has been doing
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous to think somebody knows
It's a misunderstanding between two guys.
And then to carry on like this.
No, it's compounding because things are being said.
Let
me ask you a question.
What really got me mad was Dice said he called me in the middle of the week, and he did.
But he says he did. Is he going to lie about it?
I'll tell you what's stupid. See, we're having an argument today, Artie, and when I left that gig, all I'm thinking of is where do we go next? What's the bigger venue we play, okay? Now, of course, we could both do our own gigs separately, but you there?
Yeah. Where would I go?
He's left.
No, because I'm on the fucking phone, okay? But this is what happens, and I don't know who put anything in your ear. This is what I spoke to Howard when I first came in about our fight, that other people get in between shit and say shit, and by the time we even hooked up today, we're both fucking yelling. That's what happens, and it's bullshit. So if I'm telling you I called you, and if you didn't get the message, I'm sorry you didn't get the message. But the bottom line is, I'm at least man enough, I say, you know what? If I knew you wanted it that night, it would have been handled. I didn't know it. I took care of it like I always do at the end of a trip. I take care of all my business. I always have with anybody that's ever worked for me. I've never had any problems. What's going to be fucked up is if we don't do more shows, because then other people out there go, look at this, they did one fucking show, and it falls the fuck apart.
All right, look, we got to move on. Guys,
But when you're sitting there on the phone also and going, yeah, you want me to do the shows because I'll plug them. Of course I want you to plug them. Who the fuck should I hire? Some guy that just got on at Catch a Rising Star and did 3 minutes? You want two guys that could go out there, because I'm not looking to do Borgata. I'm looking to do the biggest fucking stadiums in the country. And I turned around to you after that show and I said, I want you to do it with me. That's what's fucked up if you don't. Not the 5,000. The 5,000 is fucking chicken feed compared to what you're going to be fucking making. Now, you could do these fucking clubs and make whatever you make for a weekend, or you could go to the very fucking top. Do you know what's happened since that show? My fucking show got picked up on. I got offered a show on. That I say, you know who I want on the show with me? Artie fucking Lang. That's the only name I put out there.
All right, well, there it is.
No, but I'm telling you, Howard, this
I am sad. I am sad that it's gotten.
Dice has convinced me. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Whenever I get the check, I'll be fine, man.
Artie says you can send it whatever you want.
Don't even send the check.
Dice.
As a matter of fact, I don't want the money.
Wait, Dice.
And Ralph, I don't want the 100 either, because you know what? I don't need it.
Right.
I don't need it. I didn't need the money I made at the Pittsburgh Funny Bone either, but you know what? I took it.
Yeah.
I said, what the fuck?
Yeah. Why'd you take that?
I don't know.
You don't want to listen.
Why did the guy in Pittsburgh write me a check that night? I go, you know what? I don't need this money. Put it in your account for a month.
I need the fucking money. I just take care of it the way I take care of it. If you wanted it different, why do we got to keep rehashing that when we can move so far forward?
Right. You're
We're
right.
going to do such big things. I'll
Dice.
be on your show, and we'll play Giant Stadium in November. That'll be great. Good,
And what do you think? It's not going to happen?
Dice.
I
want you, Dice.
And Howard knows how I am because we're both fucking goal-driven.
Dice.
What?
When you come back to New York, you come in here. We'll have face-to-face. You guys will be able to
break a little bread.
You guys will
for
break
each
bread.
other.
Well,
I'm not mad at him. I just don't understand what this...
Who knows?
I understand why you felt like you were expecting it that night. Okay, so I fucked that up.
Not even that night. Maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday.
All right, here's High Pitch Eric.
You sound like a guy from The Sopranos.
Here's High Pitch Eric. Let's see what
Maybe that's what I am, Robin. I don't come from much. I'll admit it. Maybe I'm a simpleton.
All right,
I like to get paid.
Let's go to High Pitch Eric.
I'm not M. Night Shyamalan's kids with creatures in the pool.
Yes, High Pitch Eric.
But, who?
Hey, Andrew Dice Clay, how are you?
Who? What'd you just say, Howard?
High Pitch Eric.
Oh, hi.
High Pitch Eric. Listen, you're a fucking dick. You're a cocksucker.
Oh, this guy's got nothing to stand on.
Yeah, he's just got nothing to say.
Well, if someone calls up to defend me, Dice will just go, who are you?
Isn't this the guy that rips off limo drivers?
I'll listen to a guy.
Who are you zero?
You know, well, no, that guy started off the conversation just pissing on me. Why should I fucking
That wasn't
stand
fair.
for
That wasn't fair.
Well, that's not fair.
Well, they shouldn't piss on
Artie,
you either.
you could say something if you don't like what's being said.
No.
I am, and apparently I'm overreacting.
All right, hey, you know what's happening? It's getting blown out.
It's crazy.
Agree to disagree.
I haven't liked a lot of things that have been said, and when I say something, I get Mary everybody going, you're an unhappy person.
What's that got to do with anything?
God, annoying cunt. Look,
right,
guys, listen. Whenever I get the cash, it's fine. And that's it. No, and I'm sorry to have expected the money within 10 days. That was my mistake.
I want to know if you spoke to your agent.
I speak to my agent almost every day.
That's not the question.
About what? Yeah, I talked to my agent. I said...
You spoke to him yesterday?
When I got to Pittsburgh, I called my agent and said, listen, Dice wasn't able to pay me Friday. Could you call his agent and find out what's going on? That's what happened.
Why can't you hear the question and give a straight answer?
What? Go ahead.
Did you talk to your agent yesterday?
Yes.
Did he tell you he had a long conversation with me?
He told me he talked to you, yeah.
And did he tell you what it was about?
He didn't get into details because it was late at night. He told me he talked to you, and he told me that you were going to cut a check.
Maybe you should talk to him and get into it with him and not be so mad at me because...
I'm not mad at you.
Well, what was the yelling about? Happiness?
Yeah, you sound
You're saying things that are like a little confusing.
No, I will tell you this. He called me, left me a message Sunday night, said, hey, I'm back in town, give me a call.
Right.
I know for a fact from the day he came to do the show here to the Borgata, to Florida, back to Vegas, back to LA, he was not in town.
He just got home.
He just got home Sunday night. He called yesterday. Coincidence that you happened to come up in a conversation yesterday, didn't get paid? I doubt it, but okay, maybe. But he just got back to town, and he was writing you the check yesterday. In fact, I told him to just send the paper bag here with $5,000 cash, but that was too late.
Listen.
I got to get on a plane to throw him.
All right, listen,
Dice, if you had gone on a 3-month trip to India, would I have gotten my money in 3 months?
You would have got your money sooner than that. It would have took 2 months.
All right, here's
come on, why can't we put this behind?
Let's put it behind.
He now knows what you expect.
Listen, I just admitted I'm wrong. You're right in this whole thing. I'm sorry for bringing it up.
All right, so we doing the gig or what?
What gig?
The gig.
There's no gig on the books right now.
All right, listen,
Can you talk about the gig?
I want you guys to talk about this in person, not on the phone.
We will, but
all right.
Did you get my message yesterday?
Did he call you yesterday?
Yeah, did I call you
did. You called me yesterday, yeah.
So why didn't you call me back?
Because I thought it would be funnier to do this on the air.
No, I didn't want to talk to you about... I would have talked to you about this on the air. But
what?
I had other things I had to know yesterday.
Like what? What do you want to know?
I can't talk about it on the air.
All right.
All right. Jessica Hahn, what do you want to add to this?
Who, me? Howard, I think, Dice, you are so full of crap. You call Artie in the middle of the night when you're on Ativan. Suddenly you can't call him. Artie just wants to get paid, and you get...
Not Ativan.
Whatever. And you're...
Well, why don't you have your facts straight? No, if you know... Why...
Dice, what were you on?
Here's where Dice cuts off people that were trying to defend him.
Ambien.
What's the big deal? He wants to get paid. He did a gig. Just
Did you listen to the whole conversation, honey?
Full of crap. You go through these long speeches about how big you are and how Artie didn't sell seats.
Yeah, and who am I even talking to here?
Jessica Hahn.
Somebody with tits thinks they got a brain all of a sudden.
You knew Sam Kennison was a better comic than you ever were.
Well, what are we bringing that up?
I love Kennison, all right?
All right, listen, Dice.
Again, let's not attack Dice. That's not what this is about.
Yeah, no, that's not...
No, we shouldn't attack you, and we shouldn't attack Dice. This is a money...
When did Artie get attacked?
Artie.
No one attacked me. I didn't say anybody attacked me.
But he puts these dummies on.
All right, can I say something?
I'm not in charge of the phones.
Can I say something?
Who's in charge of the phone?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Artie?
I love when it gets quiet.
Yeah, I know. It scares me.
It's
all of a sudden, what?
It's beautiful.
Artie, I think it's insulting that you want any money.
I agree with you, Howard. I agree with you, man.
I
don't need the $5,000.
You really
right,
don't.
I don't need it.
You live in Jersey by yourself. You don't even have a girlfriend anymore.
I got enough money.
I'll take the money. A lot of money.
Yeah, I got enough money.
I understand where he's coming from, Howard, and to me, it's just miscommunication.
No, Dice, I'm going to settle this. Artie, you owe Dice $3,000.
I'll get it to you next week.
All right, now, the money's coming.
You got 10 days.
Yeah, the money will be there this week, obviously.
All right, that's good. And then you guys will discuss your relationship moving forward.
Actually, before you mail it, I'll be in L.A. tonight. I'll come get it from you.
Are you really going to be here tonight?
I'll be there tonight, yeah.
Where are you going to be?
I'll be at a hotel in Hollywood.
Announce where you'll be so everyone can come see you.
What do you want me to tell you? Huh?
No, if you're going to be here, I need to see you.
Well, I'll be working the whole time I'm there, but
No, but I need to see you personally.
Well, come where I'm working then.
Do you want to be paid up front for that?
How much to see you?
Artie is shooting.
You're coming in for that Entourage.
Yes, Artie is shooting an episode of Entourage.
We can't. Not on the set.
Yeah. All right.
Because if I come to the set, it creates mania.
You don't want to steal Artie's moment?
Yeah, I don't. You know, Howard. You know. Howard understands.
All right. All right. Listen, I'm going to let you guys work.
You're right.
This out.
I'm wrong. I'm the asshole. Here.
Right, I got to take a
I'm glad
break.
you finally came to your senses.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Artie admits he's an asshole.
I admit this was completely out of line.
How dare you?
All right, but when you come here, serious, I want you to call me.
That'll be good. You guys will get
You're
together.
going to call Dice when you get to L.A.
That's all. All right.
I'll
guys,
call you,
thank
Dice.
Dice Clay, thank you. Andrew Dice Clay, the great Andrew Dice Clay, the great Artie Lang, thank you very much. All right. Bye-bye. All right.
Oof.
It's good. You owe Dice money now.
I hope he doesn't need it.
That was beautiful.
Well, you take your time paying it back.
That was fucking beautiful.
You guys are crazy.
That was beautiful.
I mean, you know, money's money, man. I mean,
But you said it wasn't even about the money.
Right. Yes, it was about when I was getting paid the money.
No, he said when he took the gig, you wouldn't even have to pay me.
Right, but you offered me money, Rob. What am I supposed to say? I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll take the money.
Never seen anything like it.
Everyone's counting up Artie's money.
Nobody's counting Artie's money.
Everyone's counting Artie's money.
I wasn't counting Artie's money.
I wasn't either.
I simply heard the screams, and I thought, my goodness.
Wants to be paid.
I got
Wants
aggravated.
respect.
I mean, I know he said he called me, and look, I have no way of proving he didn't. He did not call me. So once you started with that, I'm like, okay, where's
Why
he
would
even?
he
If he's
lie?
Robin, I don't know. That's what I was
not your
asking
problem.
myself.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm like going, okay, where's he going with this?
It's becoming too much of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you two...
Look at me. Look at me. You know, arguing is good for you, and I'm going to tell you why. You didn't eat through that whole thing.
That's right. That's
You haven't
true.
even eaten.
Maybe
I was
you should
drinking
argue all day.
I was drinking soda throughout the whole thing.
Good. That's good. You didn't miss a meal. You didn't miss a calorie.
Yeah. And the argument's over, and I still don't have the $5 grand.
Right.
But, you know, whenever I get it, it'll be fine.
You
I
don't
don't.
think-
And
Wait a
I'll tell
minute.
you something else.
I don't need it.
I'm going to tell you something else. I still don't think the $5 grand check has been cut yet.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think the check is in the mail?
Howard,
You know what? You check the date.
Howard, here's what. When he lied about the phone call, and again, I have no way of proving he lied, but believe me, he lied, guys. I'm your friend here. I've never bullshitted you. I never got a phone call from the guy.
Okay.
I'm starting to say, okay, if he's bullshitting about that, where is it going to end? So in my head, I overreacted.
But
I got
think
hot-headed about the
you
fact
got
that
hot-headed,
he's
but-
bullshitting me, and I agree with Howard that I don't think the check's cut yet either.
I agree with my father one thing he said.
Your
And this-
father was right. We did not agree on
Right.
anything.
He has a different way.
And
of
I'll
doing it.
admit that. I'm not bullshitting anybody.
Yeah, his way of doing business is not to pay.
But Artie doesn't want any bullshit. All right. And as far as that Ralph goes, Ralph, shame on you.
Right around the same week that I made a bet with Artie, I made a bet with Will.
That has nothing to do with
That's
Artie.
not Artie's problem.
Wait.
It's not Artie's problem.
Listen to me. Just hear me out. So I said, Will, you see Artie every day. I'm not there every day. I was hardly ever there at that station. I said, just pay Artie for me.
And Will
Wait a minute.
didn't.
How long ago was this?
2 years.
2 years.
But then
And you haven't run into Artie since then.
But Ralph,
I've been away.
Ralph, Will is not Artie's responsibility.
I've been away on business. I'm calling my accountant. I just got back.
see, Ralph, now you're getting funny.
Now, that doesn't work for you.
What
But
is
Ralph,
it?
what
The
about
other
the
thing-
other $50?
Right,
still?
that's the other thing he's leaving out.
100, Will.
What?
It's 100.
No, it wasn't. That's bullshit. You just admitted off the air it was $50.
I did not.
So it was half the money, and that shouldn't be Artie's problem anyway.
It shouldn't be.
So?
I'm going to come over and beat your ass and get the money. I forgot about it. Artie, you'll have your money today.
Ralph, listen, I didn't bring it up because I didn't want to embarrass you. I'm like, fine, there's an issue. He doesn't want to give me this money.
I'm really not embarrassed.
That's the real
All right,
problem.
thank you. You know what, Artie? I try to help.
I love that Ralph goes, Artie, did I ever ask to go to one of your shows until you learned that? I'm like,
Another insult.
did I ever ask to go to one of your shows?
You were
He was
important
going to
enough
let you
to
go.
see you.
He wanted a free ticket. And,
Of course he did.
And he said, did I ever ask? What an honor.
Did I ever let you give me a ticket
Did I ever
before?
try to mooch off you before?
Yeah.
Before you started working with
Did
Dice?
I ever ask to go to one of your shows? It's like I'm going to go, wow, no,
Yeah,
Jesus.
it might have been a good argument if he was paying for a ticket.
Whatever.
Yeah, you know. Look.
I'll get the money when
I'm
I-
glad you and Dice talked it out.
Right.
I believe you will.
You feel resolved, Artie?
He clearly cut a check, and it's on its way.
Maybe.
Howard, do you think he cut a check?
It slipped
I don't
my
think it's been
mind.
cut yet.
You don't think it's been cut yet?
No.
So you're going on record as saying that?
Yes.
Okay. So you calling Dice a liar?
All right, let's have a bet.
I'm
All
saying
right,
Dice. No, I'm not calling
when-
Dice a liar. I'm saying that Dice now has called his accountant. But you know, accountants. He's going to drop everything and write you a check?
What about
you'll get a check within a week, I'd say.
Okay.
Within a week.
Yeah.
Anybody say it's going to be longer than another week?
No, he'll get it.
Now, what
within a
about
week.
the fact that anyone else here that I gave him my agent's number that night, and then he said he lost it?
Well, he didn't say he lost it forever.
He lost it temporarily.
Oh. Another misunderstanding.
Is it possible Dice is such a genius that he delayed payment just to get this whole conversation
Yeah, to
going?
get some more plugs.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. All right, look.
By the way, his act is great. He did a great job. He's hilarious. You should go see him. But you know, our future together is, questionable.
Okay. Really? You're that bad off about this situation?
I've been offered another gig that's a very exciting thing for me, actually. That's a very big venue that I can't announce yet, but it requires where I'd headline for really good money, and it requires me not working in the New York area for a couple months before or after.
But why good money? I mean, you don't need the money.
Well, and I told these people, now that they know,
paid?
see, now that the promoters out there have heard that I'm a fucking fag that you can step over and just go, look, Artie don't need the money.
But Dice is going to take you to the top, so why would you...
Don't worry about it.
Now I understand.
Yeah, now
it was the promoters.
Yeah, everybody out there now knows that Artie's a fucking pansy-ass prick. Or you could just say, no, you don't need
honestly,
the money.
What I really do think happened, and I think my dad hit it on the head. Dice has his way of doing business. You have your way of doing business. The two clashed. You wanted an answer. You were having. It was insulting. You weren't getting your answer. It's embarrassing that you have to ask for it. And now I think it will be straightened out. I really do think Dice is sending you a check.
I also thought it was interesting that they were on a face-to-face, we're going to do this gig together basis. And then all of a sudden the agents were involved.
Wait, I bet you Dice is going to come down to the set.
Well, I mean,
no, he said not on the set.
No, he'll be there.
It's a closed set.
I don't care. He's going to find a way in.
You think they'll rough him up if he shows up?
He's like Freddy Krueger. He's just going to show up.
Well, the bouncers take care
He's like
of him.
Jason with
You better
the mask.
show up. You better show up with my $5,000.
Oh, jeez. You're not talking till you see money. Okay.
All of a sudden, I got to worry about fucking making Dice Clay a star now.
Oh.
Ooh.
See, I knew
No
that
need
was
for
what
that.
it was. I knew it.
It's just, no, in a way, it's just patronizing. He's like, you're a great performer. No, I got a way to plug these shows on the Howard Stern show, so... I'm like, well, just come to me and say that. You know, that's a man.
I didn't
that's
get
honest.
that part.
Me either.
By the way, you are a great performer, and he wouldn't hook up with you
If you were some
shitty.
slouch. He could have hooked up with Sal and Richard.
But he never saw me do stand-up.
No, but I think he was pleased with what you did, and as you were pleased with him. Stop it. Right. Take a sip of your soda.
This is the part where I was saying we got crazy Artie involved here.
What kind of soda are you drinking, pal?
Pepsi.
Pepsi, all right.
Maybe you ought to switch to Coke.
Pepsi's jacking you
I'll
up.
drink whatever's fucking there. Arriva dirt, you cocksucker.
What if Dice airdrops himself into the set of Entourage? Find you. All right, listen. And I think, by the way, I know Dice was getting into the physical intimidation thing about being in the same room.
Fuck that.
I know one thing about you, my friend. You can fight.
Can he?
It was all county.
Yeah.
Have you seen him fight?
Weren't you in all county?
All county third
I was a
baseman.
baseball player. That doesn't mean you can
You could hit him with a bat.
But no. But the thing is, like I've been in bar fights. I'm not sane when I lose my temper.
Yeah, you're not.
So
dealing.
put it this way: if we ever got into a physical confrontation, he might kick my ass, but he's going to have to kick my ass.
Yeah, it's not going to go. It's not going to happen easily.
You're not backing down.
No. It'll be a fight.
He would have to sucker punch you.
No, there would be a confrontation.
There would be.
Because I don't want anybody fucking with me and my living. You know, this is, I mean, and then if he's gonna, I mean, you know, you're right. It's physical. I mean, I'm not scared of him as a fighter. He wants to fight me. We'll fucking fight.
Gee,
jeez, I love you.
Boxing
What
match.
a nutcase he is.
I love it.
I am. I'm a little nuts, Robin. I really am. I'm out of my mind.
Oh, You're too beautiful.
I mean, I've ruined a lot of great shit in my life.
All right, let's take a break. Everyone calm down, and that's it.